Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead. That was my fault.
uh, so thank you very much for having me on this call. When Dana first asked me, I had every excuse in my mind on why I should not be doing this call. And I asked her, I said, what do they want to hear from me? Because I've had a struggling year. And I'll talk about it, and I'm going to get emotional. But like Dana said, I'm 10-star, 4-time elite. I've been in the company for since April of 2011. I didn't get here by chance. I got here because of all of you, because of my team, because of my followers, because of everyone that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So in April of 2011, when I joined, I had 35 extra pounds to lose from having 2 children. My son was 18 months at the time, so I was still holding all that weight. I joined literally to just lose weight and save on Shakeology. I never in a million years thought I wanted to coach, or even that I had what it took to be a coach. So I started with that. I started with my journey, and losing that 35 pounds is what really got me going. So when I started Shakeology, so let me back up a little bit. In 2010, I bought P90X off of an infomercial. Had no idea there was a coaching network out there. And I bought it off the infomercial late one night, started it, 4 weeks in, quit. Not because I couldn't do it, not because I didn't have support, because my husband supported me and my mom did it with me every day. But because I had my kids crying upstairs and I felt like I was taking away from them. I didn't really have a why or a reason why I was doing it other than to lose weight for me. At least that's what I thought in the beginning. So my coach, Katie Hepner, messaged me for 8 months about Shakeology and said, I know you have P90X and I know you have kids and I think this could really help you. And I said, I can't afford that. At the time, I was a teacher. We were living paycheck to paycheck, living with my parents, renovating a house. And I just knew I couldn't justify spending $130 on Shakeology. She told me about the discount, and she said, you can just use the discount. You don't have to coach. And I said, why not? I tried everything else. So 2 weeks in to drinking Shakeology and doing P90X and being in a support group, I saw what everyone was raving about. It was that magic, of putting those 2 ingredients together with a challenge group. I finally knew why I was working out and doing this. I finally saw why, I wanted to work out every day. I finally saw the energy that I had. I finally saw that I was improving myself for my children and for my husband and my attitude and my mentality, and just I became happier. So within those 2 weeks, I said, I need to tell every mom out there about this. So that's really where my journey started as a coach. It wasn't about me losing weight anymore. It was me inspiring other moms to see their potential and see that it's not just about them losing weight, but it's also about them doing for their children and being able to go forward and play with their kids and run around with their kids and have the energy to do things. So that's really where my story started. And that right when I started having the success there with getting people on board and seeing my results, that's when I realized that I needed to be all in and share all of me if I wanted to make this business work for me. And so that's when it really hit me that I had to share not just my journey, but I had to share my life. I had to share the successes that I was having. I had to share the struggles that I was having. Any trial or tribulation that went on through my journey, I was sharing. So within probably a year of me doing Beachbody is when it really clicked that You cannot be somebody else. You can follow all of the top coaches, but you have to know, one, why you're doing this. So I have a few things. I never write down anything when I'm doing calls, but tonight I wanted to write down a few things that I just wanted to, I have 6 questions for you. Number 1 is, do you know your story? A lot of us, don't know why we're doing what we're doing. Like I said, when I first started, I thought it was just for me to lose weight. Number 2, where did you come from? What struggles have you gone through? And how did that get you to where you are today? These are things that are going to help you be you when you're sharing. Do you know your why? We as coaches talk about our why all the time. We talk about you knowing your why. Even if it is a minute-long why when you're talking to somebody, or a paragraph or 2 sentences. Do you know it? Is it emotional? Because you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. And are you sharing your journey? You have to share your journey for people to trust in you. So, like I was saying, those 5 steps are really the reason and everything behind why you want to be you. As I was saying, you can follow all the top coaches. You can read everything that they post. And you can use a lot of the stuff that they have and they post. But until it is you and authentically you posting, your followers are not going to connect to you. They're going to connect to the person that wrote that post. That's why every time you post, you need to ask yourself, is this me? Am I sharing all of me? Am I hiding anything? Yes, there are people that hide things and they fake it until they make it. And there are people that just really say, I'm afraid to share it all. So my question to you there is, what's holding you back? Write it down. You don't have to share it with people, but write down what's holding you back from being authentically and unapologetically you on Facebook. So throughout the last 4.5, almost 5 years, me being me and opening up and sharing, I like to say that I'm an open book. I share everything. I share my struggles. I share my journey. I share business. I share my kids. I share my family. So you have to find your balance and how much you are willing to share of you. Some people say I share too much, but others say that's the reason why they follow me, is because I am real. I don't hide much, but when you see what I post, you can either connect with me, or some people are completely offended by what I post. But that's me. I'm real, I'm open, I'm honest. A lot of times I tell people, you can ask me any question, I'm probably going to tell you the truth. And I'm brutally honest when it comes down to it, because I don't want to hide or fake it. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. When it comes down to you coming into my life, that's what built my business. Me being me and sharing everything. So that's kind of where it changes into, how do you work with adversity? So from 2011, April of 2011 until, I guess, December of 2012. December 2012 was the first year I hit Elite. I had no idea what it was. I knew that I was just helping people change their lives. I was getting people on board. I was helping them lose weight. I was showing them, what challenge groups were. I was sharing. That's all I was doing. And people always say, you are what people buy. So when you share your story, that's what you're selling. You're not selling the products. You're selling yourself. So at that moment, once I hit elite for the first time, I said, okay, now I need to learn more about this. Like, why, how did that happen? So I went back and just started doing everything that I knew I had to do and what I was doing. Again, very simple things: knowing my why, knowing my vision, knowing where I wanted to go, knowing what got me to where I was the year before, and the 3 vital behaviors. So just going through those steps, again, hit that milestone. At the end of 2013, the end of 2014, wait, let me get this right. April of 2013, I hit 5-star. May of 2014, I was still 5-star diamond. And I said to myself, where am I going? Am I still doing the same things that I was doing before? And that's when it hit me. For a whole year, I was the same rank. I didn't change. I didn't change what I was doing. But I wasn't being all me. I wasn't sharing everything. I wasn't sharing the little struggles anymore. I wasn't sharing why my business wasn't moving. It was because of me. I was holding myself back. So then at the end of that year, I was 7-star. And then in the beginning of last year, I wanted to do a huge push to hit 15-star. I worked with Kim Carver, and we set a goal for 10-star by summit. At that moment, for those of you who don't know, my husband is in law enforcement, so works crazy hours. And he sacrificed a lot for me to be able to build my Beachbody business. In January of last year, he got off of a case where he was working sometimes 48 hours. Sometimes he was away for 4 days, and we wouldn't even know. He would say that he would be back in 24 hours or in 2 days, and 4 days later, he's calling me saying, hey, I'm going to be another day. So we went through a lot of struggling there. And on top of that, I was struggling with my business. Like I said, I wanted to hit 15-star last year. I put a big push on myself, and I asked my husband to support me. I asked him to help push me, but I never could take his criticism. I could never take his support and him pushing me. I always felt like I was being compared to somebody else. And that's one thing that I hated in this business, because I don't compare myself to anybody else. I never look at anyone else's business and say, why is she there and not me? So when I started working with Kim Carver in the beginning of last year, actually the end of 2014, we set a goal for 10-star. And it was before Summit, so we strategized. We did the things that we knew that I had to do to hit 10-star. So we planned it all out, and I got to where I wanted to be. I hit Millionaires Club, I think in March or April, and then the next month I hit 10-star. So everything was lining up, except for I was too involved in my business, and my marriage fell apart. And I felt like I was covering up everything that was going on behind closed doors because my business was doing so well. And this is where that balance comes into play, because if you're not sharing you all the way through, then you're not being you. And I wasn't being me. I left my marriage in May of last year and had an affair. And my world was turned upside down. For most of you that follow me, know I'm pregnant. I'm due in 8 weeks. And the baby's not my husband's, but he has supported me all summer through my struggle, through me losing myself. And in November, we decided that we are going to try to work this out. So for the past 2 months, my husband has been dealing with my moodiness of being pregnant. He has been dealing with every obstacle you could even imagine. I mean, there are things that I couldn't do. I couldn't do half of the things that he's doing to make our marriage work because he is my best friend, and I just got lost. And, you know, one thing that a lot of people have said to me over all of this is, how did you work your business? How did you do it? And, you know, there were days where I said to myself, how am I doing this? I walked out on what I knew, my comfort zone. The only person that ever supported me 100% in my business, in life. And it was hard. You know, we talk about it all the time. I don't know why I did what I did, and I got lost and I got caught up in it. But one thing that I know is that my business kind of was my safe. At that time, I felt like was my safe haven. I shared a lot of my business, my personal business on Facebook. A lot of you know everything. A lot of, if you're not friends with my husband, a lot of you don't know. Some of you don't know the other half. But my business, how did I work through my business? And like I said, so I did hit elite last year. And in May, I left. So I hit elite by working a business through all of this. One, a lot of people say, you know, being pregnant is super hard. Going through a divorce is super hard. I was doing both of them at the same time. And the only thing that I could think of was, why did I start this business? I started this business because I wanted my kids to feel safe. I wanted my kids to have the life that I never had. I wanted my kids to be able to grow up and get whatever they wanted. I wanted my kids to see me raise them and not somebody else. And so I worked every day that I could when I wasn't, because I did get into a depression during the summer. Once I realized what I was doing and what my life was what was about to happen in my life. But I stuck to the same things that we tell our brand new coaches. You need to know your why. You need to know what you're reaching for. So I work towards that. Every month I hit Success Club, sometimes by the skin of my teeth. And then in November, when I got back with my husband, it was the first month that I didn't hit Success Club. In 52 months of being a coach, I hit Success Club. In November of 2015, I did not hit Success Club. And it was a direct reflection of the lack of things that I did the month prior. And so when you ask, how do you work through adversity, you have to do the things that you can. And I wrote down a quote, and I just said, it just says, do the things you can control, and the others are left unsaid. And that's what it comes down to. Everything in life and in this business, you can only do what you can control. You can control you. You can control what you post on Facebook. You can control who comes to you, who you work with. You can control your daily activities. You can control how hard you work towards the goals that you want to reach. Yes, life is going to happen. I wish this would happen with me this summer upon nobody. But life's going to happen. You might have a loss in the family. You might have somebody get sick. You may have somebody, I don't even know. You might have a coach leave your business center because they just couldn't deal with your life, or you are, you two don't connect. Life's going to happen. You have to control the controllable. You have to be able to work your business with the things that you can control. So no matter what happens in your life, in your business, know that there are people that are going to pick you up when you fall. There are going to be people that are going to support you if they know what's going on or not. There are people that are going to be behind you, because that's what this Beachbody family is. But at the same time, you need to know that what you're doing daily is going to be the direct reflection of how people follow you. You want people to follow you. You don't want them to follow somebody else. You want them to follow who you are, what you stand for, and where you want to go in this business. So if you decide right now that you're all in this business, then you need to decide right now that you're going to share all of you with your followers on Facebook. There comes a point where you can, like I said before, I'm an open book, and you have to decide what you want to and what you're willing to share. But there will come a time where you say, is this inspiring somebody? Am I encouraging somebody? Because a lot of things that we share on Facebook can be negative. If you're in a bad mood and you share that, yes, it's going to turn. But if you make a turn of what you say or how you're, feeling into a positive light, or ask for encouragement from your followers on Facebook, that's going to help you, one, lift you up. But you're going to see that you have people that are following you because they like who you are. So when you share all of you, you get this sense of people just, even though they don't know you personally, they know you and they connect with you. And those are the people that are going to come to you. But you don't want people to connect with somebody on Facebook that you're posting about and then join you, and that's not who that person is. So that's a huge key to you being you on Facebook and sharing what you share, is because everyone that follows you, they are the people that are connecting with you and connecting what you're posting on Facebook. So if it's not you and it's not who you are, it's not what you stand for, don't post it. I know a lot of times, when it comes to political things, people post things just to get traction on their Facebook page, but it's not beliefs that they believe. Why would you post it? Or if, the big craze is that making a murder show or whatever. I've never watched it. But a lot of people post about it because they want traction on their page. I would never post about it because I'm not watching it. Now, if I started watching it and then I thought, hey, let me get some traction on my page, I'll post about it. And what you post on Facebook doesn't always have to be Beachbody. Again, you need to find your balance. I share everything from, my kids to my life, to what I eat, my pregnancy right now, sharing my business. I share about my challengers. I share about inspiration, motivation, things that I need throughout my day. Those are the things that I share. Are there times that I post to get traction? Maybe, but it's something that I believe. It's not something it's something that I need. Like now that I'm doing a baby registry, I haven't had a kid for 6.5 years. I haven't had a baby in the house. So things have changed. So I'm asking new moms about different things. Do the same thing. You can ask about anything that's going on in your life or you need suggestions on. But remember, what you post on Facebook, I think Lindsay Matway is the one who said this, but it's supposed to be your mini reality show. So if you go back to your Facebook page at the end of the night and say, this doesn't reflect who I am, delete that post. Or if you go back and say, wow, this post got a lot of traction because I was really me. I shared a lot of me in this post. Then that's what you want to keep sharing. You want to share that same aspect and you want to put you into it. Everything you post, when you read it, you should say, is this me? Am I inspiring somebody? Am I encouraging somebody? Am I giving knowledge today? And again, like I said, there are going to be times when you need support. And people are going to give it to you because they have connected with you. They know you. So now they're going to give you the compassion and the inspiration and the empowerment that you've given them for such a long time. So make sure that your Facebook page is a little mini reality show and that you are you so that the people that are following you can connect with you, because those are the people that you want on your team and in your challenge groups, are the people that connect with you and know you and want to hear more about you and your journey. Adversity is going to happen no matter what the line of adversity, I don't even know how bad, how good, whatever. It's going to happen. Never in a million years did I think this was going to happen in my life. But I had to keep moving forward. And I knew I built my business for a reason, for it to keep rolling when something like this happened. And it did. I did the minimum work, but I did it. I made sure that I stayed on task for the things that I knew needed to get done to make that minimum happen. Success Club doesn't just happen for me. A lot of top coaches, it just happens for them. They have people that just come to them. I don't. And all summer, like I said, there were times where I hit Success Club by the skin of my teeth. But that was because I was doing those daily activities that I knew I had to do. So if you keep your organization together and something happens in your life, then you're going to stay on track. You don't want to lose sight of why you started in the beginning, because then you're just going to lose your whole entire self. You're going to lose everything that you worked so hard for. So remember to just stay you and stay completely attached to the things that you know that are going to build your business. I thank you all for jumping on this call and listening to my story and listening to me cry. But this is me, and this is what happens when, it happens. Life happens. And I'm glad that I can share this story now and, show people that as long as you don't give up on yourself, other people aren't giving up on you. There are people that are going to cheer for you, and there are going to be people that are behind you. So just keeping you, and don't ever, ever stray away from that. Anything else, Dana?
No, that was awesome. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for sharing your story and being so open. And I think you really rounded it out at the end when just talking about like not losing sight, because I think we all lose sight, whether it be because of something grand happening in our life or something minor. It's really easy to do. So like you said, if you keep your eyes focused on your goals for your business and you keep moving forward and not losing sight, it can really, it makes or breaks you, I think. So I really appreciate you sharing. Thank you. Thank you for staying up and doing the call, because I know exactly how tired you are. You're only a week ahead of me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, no problem.
Does anyone have any questions for Nikki before we call it a night? You have to unmute yourself if anyone has any questions.
I have a question. First,
Oh,
story, and I have 3 pages of notes. My question: do you find that you're still having a lot of luck from Facebook where you're getting new people following you, or do you think it's more been a branch out to Instagram or your blog? I know you have a blog too. Do you think are you still?
So the majority of my clients and coaches still come from Facebook. A lot of them are referrals, but the majority are, I'm still Facebook. When everything happened back in May, I stopped blogging. I stopped my website completely. I haven't wrote a blog on my website since May, maybe even April of last year. And Instagram, I just post random things, and I have my assistant post things on there, but I don't get things. I don't get much interaction as into prospects on Instagram. I get a lot of interaction, but it's more other coaches, my current challengers, whereas Facebook, it's always new people. And I think that when there comes a point where you feel like you're, drying up on Facebook, but you just have to switch up what you're posting and when you're posting, and start going in. I don't know how you guys all do expand your network, but the people that are your challengers, if you go to their page and you see, you can even comment on something or congratulate them on their success so far. You're going to get people that are going to come to your page and see what you're doing and see what you're talking about, and they're going to friend request you. So that's another way to expand your network that I've found that has really helped me, is just really expanding from the current clients that you're working with.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll quick.
Sorry, I was talking to myself.
Nikki, just real quick. It's so nice to have you back and in full charge ahead. I know my team has a lot of respect for you, and from the beginning, you've always been a wonderful mentor to me, and so I appreciate you sharing everything. It gives me a little bit of encouragement and to be a little bit more real in my posts and in my life, which I know I speak of many that we always hold something back or don't share the real nitty gritty, and because we feel like we're supposed to be on spot. So I'm gonna work on that, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Of course. Thank you, girl. Thank you.
Real quick, I forgot to mention too in the beginning of the call, Nikki is a part of our upline, and she has a pretty awesome group called the TR Diamonds group. So if you're a diamond, you're already in that group. If not, it's something to shoot for because it's a good group with a lot of great coaches in it. So it's definitely something to shoot for.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, Nikki. Thanks for sharing.
Of course.
It's great getting to know you this way. I really appreciate it. Got a lot from the call. A question for you. Someone that's just starting to build a team, what kind of advice do you have for them? What things do you wish you knew then that you know now about first starting to build a team? What are some key tips?
So key tips to somebody that is brand new starting their journey. I would say number one thing is, like I said on this call, knowing your story, knowing your why, knowing what got you to where you are at this part of your life. So knowing why you want to succeed with Beachbody, why you are doing Beachbody, what has Beachbody done for you so far. If you were a challenger or you're just starting as a coach and challenger all in one, what do you see yourself? What are your expectations? And I think that's number one, is knowing your why and what you expect from this business. From there, I would say, honestly, following the 3 vital behaviors of personal development, being a product of the product, and inviting are key. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like I like to say that to my coaches, my veteran coaches, my Star Diamond coaches. You don't need to do more than you think. If you keep it simple, you're going to succeed. Now, the more and further along in this business you get, you will find that your daily activities are going to change. I share it with my in my coach camp. It's my 10 daily activities, and they're pretty simple things. You know, following the 3 vital behaviors, messaging people, doing my follow-ups, checking emails. I can even share it with Dana so that she can share with all of you. But that is one of the things that I feel that even if you only have an hour a day to work this business, if you do those 10 things each day, you are going to succeed. So I would say keep it simple, follow what your upline tells you to do, and they're probably not going to stray you away. But the 3 vital behaviors are so crucial in this business, and knowing your story and your why, that needs to come before anything else, because you need to know why you're doing this and why you want to get other people on board, and you know what you expect from it. If you are expecting to get rich quick, it's not going to happen. If you expect to just inspire people, yes, that's going to happen, but you need to know why you want to inspire them. So I would really just stick to those pretty basic things, your why, the 3 vital behaviors, and then I will share my 10 daily activities.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, anyone have a last question? I thought I heard someone. Nope. All right. Well, on that note then, thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate it. And
you're welcome.
You get a good night's sleep.
Thanks. You too. All right. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, guys.